Hello, good friends. I am making something today that I have never made before, and that is elderberry syrup. You know, ever since last year, 2020, when COVID arrived, we've heard a lot of information about elderberries boosting your immune system. So anyway, I didn't even know what elderberries looked like. But I've done a little research, found out how to identify them. I actually joined a elderberry group, and so I've been able to forage and find me some elderberries. Oh, hang on, let me get some and show them to you, okay? Here we go. Okay, look at here. Here's some that I have foraged. Now, these green ones and red ones, you don't want to use those. So you use the black ones, the dark ones. But this is some that I have foraged, and I have got a 5-gallon bucket over there with elderberries that I've not even cleaned yet. But I've got enough cleaned to actually make a recipe of this elderberry syrup. So we're going to put it together. But I want to make a disclaimer, okay? This is not medical advice. All right, I'm just going to let you come along and watch and see what I'm doing. All right, so first of all, I have got right here, these are my cleaned elderberries right here. And see, these elderberries are very, very small. See that? I have almost 4 cups, and I'm going to put them in my pot. There's my pot right there. And let me get a spoon so I can scrape them out. So almost 4 cups of elderberries. And in my research, I have found some other things that I'm going to mix in here that are supposed to be beneficial and healthy for you. And I'm going to add those things too. One of them was blueberries. Of course, we've heard, you know, about the benefits of blueberries forever. And they especially said if you had wild blueberries. I have wild blueberries, so that's great. So here's my wild blueberries. Now you can use, you know, the store-bought blueberries if you don't have wild. I've got a cup of wild blueberries. I want to put these in the pot as well. And I have some cherries. And we actually have wild cherry trees out here, but for the past 2 years, my wild cherry trees have not made any cherries. I don't know why. So I actually bought some cherries. So this is over a cup, but these cherries are so big, there's space in between here. So I'm putting in over a cup of these cherries. So this is my berries that I'm putting in to cook. We'll have to add some water. And right here in this pot, I have sliced lemon, and this little piece right here on this lemon, that is whole cloves. I've got cloves in here. I have some chopped ginger, and let's see, I have cinnamon. So I'm going to put water in this pot and cook all of this down as well. Okay, so let me get some water together here and pour it in the pots. In just a minute, y'all. And I'm going to cover the berries with water. That way, what I'm doing here is I'm making juice. That's what I'm doing. Okay, let me put a little more water in there. All right, and we're going to start that a-cooking. I'm going to put some water in here. Let me get a little more for this. And we're going to start all of this cooking. We're going to cook the berries down tender, and also these other spices and lemon and stuff. We're going to cook that down. And then we're going to put it all together. Well, we're going to have to get our juice from it. Put it all together And then we're going to do the recipe for making our elderberry syrup. All right, we're ready for the next step. Our berries have been cooking in this pot for probably about 45 minutes. You're supposed to let elderberries simmer for at least 20 minutes. So I've let them simmer twice that long. You don't want them to come to a full rolling boil because some of the information that I read said that that will take away some of the beneficial properties that we want in the elderberries. So just let them simmer. And here's our other stuff right here, the lemon and cloves and all that kind of stuff. I've got that. So what I want to do is I want to strain all of this. So I've got a strainer right here sitting over a bowl. And I'm going to start pouring this stuff through there. So let's see, let's try to get this where you can see what I'm doing. All right, so here's my berries. I'm just going to start pouring them through this strainer. See? I'm going to mash this to mash out some more of the juice. So this is going to be the part of the process here where we're extracting the juice, okay? This will take a few minutes. Okay, now let me show you what I'm going to do after this, and then I'll turn off the video because it's going to take a while to get this process done. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strain it through. This is even got smaller holes in the strainer. I'm going to pour it through this now, okay, into another bowl. And I'm hoping that that will have it strained pretty good. So my arm is where you can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm just pouring it through this little strainer so that it will catch anything that the bigger strainer did not catch. Yes, and it did catch some stuff. Okay, so that's good. See, the little strainer caught that. Okay. So that's the process that I'm going to do until I've got all of the juice strained out. And then we'll start making our syrup. Okay, I've put all of the berries and the pulp through the two strainers. And right here, this is a 4-cup measurer. And we've got a little more than 4 cups of juice, which is wonderful because I need 4 cups to actually make one batch of this syrup. Now, I took the pulp, once I put it through the strainers, and I have put it back in this pot and added some water with it. And I'm going to let it boil a little more because there is still some juice there in all of that pulp. So I'm going to boil it a second time, strain it a second time, and that will give us some more juice.